is I'm going to do this vine here so we can kind of see the full process. And then in between episodes, I'll finish it out, I think. But for right now, welcome back to the workbench where we try to make things. And what we're continuing to try to make today is Bamboo Creek's water garden miniature dollhouse. And if you'd like to build along yourself, there's a link down in the description below where you can get your own and build along. But what we're working on right now is the second pavilion. So let me pull forward here to the instructions. Here we are. So we have basically finished up the structure of the second pavilion. I had it kind of put together for last time's thumbnail with all the little furniture and whatnot we had. I'll go ahead and pull that stuff out because what we need to do now is do this vines and plants and whatnot that are kind of growing up the wall here and then across the roof. And I've gone ahead and we can see here, painted up. I put them on top of this white paper towel so you can even see them. I have used the black, or not black, I'm sorry, but the brown paint, or what do they call it? They say use pigment, the brown pigment that comes with the kit. And I've painted these thin wires brown. And so now we have our vines. So let me actually move this paper towel out of the way. I'll throw that to the side. And what we need to do, it looks like, and make sure you guys can see the instructions here with me. We kind of bring them all together into one kind of clump down here at the bottom, and then they come apart and then go through the structure. So what I thought we would do first is let me just take all these ends here. Now you can see, or maybe you probably can't see, where I had them clamped. It's not actually painted because the ends of the wire were behind, or inside the clamps here. So what I want to do is make sure and bring all those ends together. If I can do this. In other words, I don't want to flip any of these around because what I'm going to do is I'll twist this all together. They've twisted up to what it looks like. It looks like about the height of this railing. They're kind of just clumped up together. So we'll do that. But I need to start, kind of consider my wires starting. Let me use my X-Acto here because I'm gonna clip all that off. So I'm gonna want to twist them up to about, I think, right there. So let me just I'm just going to twist them together. I don't really know how else to do this. I think that's going to be the best way is just kind of twist them together like so. Then I'm going to get my nippers where they at. And I'm going to cut all the unpainted part off. Just like that. And then that should be good. Now, move all these clamps out of the way. I think what we can do, I think the game plan is going to be, they have it coming down. Basically, this has to run all the way to the ground. The vines, generally grow out of the ground, I guess, or out of the dirt somewhere. And in this case, it's going to be the ground. So I'm going to go all the way down like this. And I think what I'll do, I'm going to just glue it up right here on the bottom. Where's my CA glue? I'm going to put a dot of CA glue. Let me get my accelerant ready at the same time. I'm going to put... You can see some of this stuff's already kind of scratched off the paint, that is. Yeah, I'm going to put a dot of CA right here, and I think right here up on the top side of that rail. And then I'm going to hold these wires. I want it to turn that way, so I'll try to hold it that way. That's fine. Just all the way to the bottom like so. And then I think if I spray it, I might get that locked in. Oh, it didn't. Not sure what happened there. Do we still have some glue that'll work for us? Kind of. Yeah, okay. What I'll do now, because that kind of caught some glue there at the end, I'm going to re-glue it. Just little dots of glue, not a lot. Let me do that, and then I'll spray it again. And I'll let that cure up real quick. And then what we'll have to do is kind of spread them out, or up the side and then down or across the roof. And I'm just going to try to maybe kind of follow what they've got going here. We'll just send them, basically we'll send one. Let me see if that's, yeah. In fact, let's just do it together. I'm going to take one out, out this way, kind of bend it here, and then we want to go in here and then up and through like so. I might put some little, kind of kink it up a little bit if that makes sense. Then let's go in here. I don't really know. I don't really know. Let's just go this way and then kind of back through here. And I kind of just want it to run. Yeah, they show it running all the way kind of to the front. Maybe just have it terminate right there. But then I kind of want to twist it up. You know what I'll probably do? I think an easy way to do that is if I take just some tweezers and kind of give it some twist like this. You know, where it gets a little bit of get a little bit of harder turns in it. Push it in on itself. Ooh, I don't want it to do the same thing twice, so that looks kind of too uniform. Let's bring it down this way, and then let's bring up this way like that. Yeah, I think something like that will be fine. And then I'm going to kind of just terminate this right here like so, and then I'm going to put a drop of glue at the end. I hope you guys can even see this wire on here. It's going to be hard to see because it's the brown wire, and you know, now you can some of the brown has actually worn off on. I think we can take care of that though with the leaves and flowers and that stuff. So I'm not too worried about it. The next one kind of goes. I'm going to bring it kind of the same direction here. Let me grab one, kind of bring it this way, and it's going to go. Yeah, I think I'll go. Let's see. Let's go. No, I'll just do it like they do. They have both of them going kind of in the A-frame section there. But this one runs more, going to run more down. Let me go through here. I want to make sure it's different than the one I just did. It's in other words, I'm going to have it run a little bit more on the inside and then come out here. But I want this one to run closer up to the top here. And then we'll have it finish, because do they have it run pretty far in? I think probably somewhere in here. And then I think I'll try to kink it a little bit, like just put some little twists and turns. Obviously, you know, these vines would have weird little twists and turns in them where they've grown over the years. Something to that effect. And then I want to lock it in right up here, I think. In fact, I'm going to lock it into this one. Let me put just a touch of glue right there. Let me see if I can hold that in place, right, like so. Oh, it didn't glue. I'll let it go before, there we go. Let's hold that just a second. There we go, perfect. Okay, so we've got one. Yeah, I like that. And then these three, the last three, you know what? I'm going to pull this up where it kind of comes up closer to that one, like so. I just want to get this to more clump together. We'll do something like that. Yeah, that looks a little better. I want more of clumpy here, and then it thins out, if that makes sense. I want it to be thick. I want the flowers, see how the flowers are thicker towards the back? So I want to make sure my vines are kind of clumping there at the back. And then the next one, we're going to go, how do they have it? They just have it going over the top here like this, and then kind of in here. I'm really just kind of looking at how they have them running on this backside, and then I'm just kind of doing it however I want from there, just to be honest with you. And in fact, you can do all of this however you want. I guess if you really wanted to, you can just leave it off. Okay, give me that. Let me pull that through if I can here. I'm going to kind of have it run. It should run all the way. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let me see. They have it go. It's a little hard to tell how they have it running, but I might have it run up top here like so, and then I'm going to have it actually go over the peak here, and then back around, and I think out right here. And I'll show you hopefully a little better what I'm doing once I can get it actually done. So like that, and then have it terminate there. So I have that one kind of coming here and then over the peak, so we kind of break that, you know, that gets, in fact, I might have this run up on the peak like that. Something to that effect, yeah. And then I'll pull this on through a little better to there and glue it down. But that kind of breaks that border so you don't have, so it doesn't make it seem like a border at least, you know what I mean? It's a little more natural when it grows across that peak. So I'll hold that one to glue. Come on, there we go. And now the next one, they have kind of tuck in behind there. So I'll do the same thing. This one I'm gonna have come a little bit more over this way like that. This one will go here. I'm gonna have it come out immediately like that. And then we'll go in over here. And then let's see. Yeah, and then this one, we'll have it just come back out over here somewhere like this. And I'm gonna have it go kind of to the end and curl, maybe curl up like so. And then I'm gonna glue it in place here. As you can tell, I'm just making this up as I go. It is not, you know, there's not any wrong or right way to do this. Let me spray that real good. Hold it just for a second while it glues in place. There we go. And that got quite a bit of glue there, but again, we can fix that up with the, we'll make sure and hide all that kind of stuff. Yeah, with the flowers and things. This last one I'm gonna take here, over the top like that. Actually, they have it, you know what, I like how they have it. They have it come through here, around the post like this, and then up this way, and then through. I like that. I'm gonna do that. And then in fact, I'll probably pull it right back through here, through this one. Like that. And then how do they have it kind of end? Might have it just cross with this one and then come up this way here. And then turn down like that, just so it's not, it doesn't have that same, I don't want that same shape as the one before. Whoa, that's gonna be way too much. Saved it. I had a big, huge glob of CA coming out. Saved it before I hit it. Okay. Now, and I think what we'll end up doing is maybe gluing these down in the different places. So, whoops, get on there. So it'll hold tight. That one did not glue. So let's try it again. Right there. And now that glued up. Okay, let me give this a good spray just to make sure. I think, let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to spread these open like that. So I'm trying to open them up here, bend these down. And then what I think I'll do, let me put it on its head like so. I'm gonna hold this flat like this, and then I'm gonna put little dots of glue here to hold these in place. Just like that. I'm gonna hold it, spray it. Okay. Keep holding it for a second. There, that should hold that in place to hold that kind of open like so, because we're gonna put some little flowers and whatnot down there too. Okay, so I think that's kind of the shapes we're gonna go with for the vines. Hopefully you guys can even see what I was doing there. Where's my other tweezers? I'm gonna need those in a second, I think. Now, what we do next, I think, so that was the pigment, take some of the leaves. We wanna glue the leaves on, which I've pre-cut them all right here. You cut them off of one of the bushes that's in the kit. You go ahead and cut them off. And you know what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna run short on time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this vine here so we can kind of see the full process. And then in between episodes, I'll finish it out, I think. But for right now, I'm gonna do this vine. And so what I wanna, I'll just kind of, I don't know where I necessarily want to put these, but I think the way I'm going to do it, this is why I wanted the tweezers, or snagged the good tweezers a second ago. I'm going to grab these leaves with my tweezers, like so. I'm going to put a dot of glue here. In fact, I'm probably doing this backwards. I am doing it backwards, but that's okay. I'm going to start this way first. I'm going to spray and then set. But what I should do, I'm going to leave that one just like that. Let me show you actually how I probably should do this. Yeah, I only have so many to work with. Well, I mean, I guess I can always cut more. What I should do actually is go, okay, I want to put this one here. So I'm going to put my glue right there on the wire. And then what I should do actually is spray the backside of the leaf and then touch that. And I'm going to go here like this if I can. And then try to hold it. Is this going to work? I don't know if it's going to work. I'm trying to make it work. You go this way with my other hand. No, it worked the other way around better, didn't it? So let me put the glue. Yeah, it definitely worked better the other way around. Let me put the glue on the leaf. Like that, and then spray the spot I'm going, which is here. And then try to hold. The hard part's to hold it there. There we go, like so. Okay, and then I probably want, let's see, this one there. I think I'll probably put one, you know, I'm gonna put one coming off that bend we've got going there. So let me have one more leaf. Like so. Let's go glue on the leaf and spray that, and then sit this. And hopefully, I think I'm gluing it to the tweezers, so let me just use my fingers. Oh, it's gonna fall. Now it's glued. Now it's glued on the inside. Let's try that again. Like that, there we go. There we go. Let those cure just for a second. Because the next thing we need to do, or they want us to do, is we're gonna take some white glue, and then it looks like it's just random places. And I'm just gonna, again, do this one vine right here on the roof. And then like I said, I'll finish this up. I got glue all over me. Take your white glue. I'll finish this up in between episodes, but take your white glue, finish my thought. Take your white glue, and I'm gonna put a couple spots, like one here. Let that kind of settle. I'll go here. And I'm gonna go, you know, actually that might be, can I get some right down here where it's running through this way? Get on there. It's a little hard because you're trying to get glue onto a little thin wire. Now let's touch that up a little bit. I don't want that. This glue's kind of running down. I'd rather that going down the wire, not on the roof itself. There we go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, you've got this pink flocking in the kit here. We're gonna take some of this pink flocking. I'm just gonna do it by hand. I'm gonna try my darndest to kind of just push it on there. Now, I should have put down a piece of paper or whatever, because you wanna collect this flocking that does not, I mean, you're gonna have a ton that just falls wherever, right? I'll use the instructions to pick that up. Okay. So we'll let that, you can kind of, I think I can probably push it in just a little bit like so. Let me turn it upside down and get the extra off. There we go. And then now let me see if I can use my instruction book here to bring, oh, I've got all these in. Let me take my green leaves off of here. I don't want to pour those in, because what I'm going to do is just kind of funnel this all back into my bag, because I don't want to waste all the extra here. Let's see if I can get it to, there we go. Okay. All right, so you got kind of those, that's one way of, I guess, getting pink. Can you guys see it? Let me turn this light on. There we go. Get a little bit of pink in there. And then the last thing we want to do are these guys. So we've got paper flowers, pink flowers. And then it says, I think what we want to do is just kind of fold them like so. And then I'm going to glue these also. And I think I will use white glue to glue these also because they are paper. I think I'm going to put one on the end here. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get our glue board. I'm going to put us a little bit of glue just on the glue board here. Hopefully you can see that. I call it a glue board. I don't know what it's really called, but a board to hold glue for us. And then I'm going to use just this little wire I have here. Use anything like this to just touch some spots of glue that I want to put these flowers. And it looks like we should do quite a few of them. I think I'll put one here. And get a pretty good clump of glue there so that I know that it'll hold. Let's go right there. There we go. And now I think I'll just work my way back, putting the flowers. I just dropped my flower. I'll get that one later. Let me get a new one. I think you want to kind of turn them into a little bit of you want to kind of cup them if we can. You can kind of just do it in your fingers like that. If you see what I'm doing, just kind of cup it like so. And then stick it in that white glue. Like that. And then just keep working our way. I want to work semi-fast because, obviously our glue is drying, but it's one reason we use, where did that go? Oh, here it is. It's one reason we use the white glue, though, is it'll take a little longer to dry than CA glue. What is going on? My tweezers aren't working. Okay, let's see if we can cup that again like so. And then the next spot I had was right here. Like so. All right. And where'd I go? Right here. Like that. I think that's kind of cool. This might be too many flowers. I don't know. I don't think so. How can you have too many flowers? Right? I don't know. I guess you can have too many. Get in the glue. Make sure it's in the glue. There we go. And I do kind of want them to angle different directions also. I don't want them, all facing exactly, some flowers would be going this way and that way in different ways, I do want them facing out ways, if that makes sense. So I do want them generally facing this way. And this one will go right here. Yeah. And so there's one vine. I'll continue that down the vine, down into this region here. And then, of course, we've got this vine and that. We've got 4 more vines. So you can see how this will fill out real quick. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up. We're running along now, but that's just the idea. Just kind of keep doing the same thing down each vine. That's at least what I've come up with on how to do this. I'll finish doing that out. Well, you've probably already seen it in the thumbnail. I'll go ahead and finish it. And then next episode when we get together, I'll show you how it turned out at the beginning of the next episode, or just probably look at the thumbnail of this video. I'm sure I've got it finished. But anyways, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this helps. If you're building along, I hope this maybe gives you an idea. Let me know if you had a better way of going about it. Trust me, I'm always here. I want to know. We're learning together, and if you have a better technique for this, I would love to hear it. That way I can share in a future video also. But thank you for joining me. Leave me those comments down below. I do appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all those things they tell you to do on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
a fine